Good evening, and welcome to a Sanctum Sunday Christmas Eve story time. I'm your host, the ghost of Vincent Price. And as it's Christmas Eve, it's certainly the seasons for specters and ghosts and ghouls, and here I am, stuck in Dr. Durant's basement, surrounded by boxed costumes, packaged toys, old vinyl records. No one to offer me solace but my dear, sweet boy, Jody. My precious, precious grandson. There's nothing more precious than family at this time of year. And the doctor insists that I play some records. So, first up, we have this one here. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, based on the Rankin Bass series, The Night Before Christmas. Not series, it was a special. It's a one night thing, like I wish this was. I wish my appearance was a one goddamn shot, one shot. But here I am, week after week, month after month, doing bits for this middle-aged buffoon. Well, anywho, Jody, spin the record.
Spring road down the Milky Way. Santa, we need you today.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. If only I could sleep. If only I knew.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Well, I'm stirring. If only I could sleep. If only I knew. We got trouble, the boss and me. Big trouble. I mean, how would you feel if it was only 3 minutes to Christmas and you didn't know whether, as we say when approaching a tall piece of cheddar, better start from the top. The trouble began 2 months ago when the mailman came.
Hey, wait a minute. This isn't for us. It's for Santa.
So's this.
And this.
And this.
I spilled that ink. These are the letters we wrote to Santa.
The letters we wrote to Santa? Return?
Not accepted by addressee.
What does that mean, Father?
Santa doesn't want our letters.
But why?
I don't know, Sarah. I don't know.
The same thing was happening all over town as boys and girls got their letters back from Santa. No one knew what it meant, but we grown-ups knew one thing for sure. We were going to do everything we could to find out. While the people were storming the village hall and the mayor was wishing he was somewhere else, I decided to give Mouse Bell a whirl and get the word from up north.
North Pole Substation.
This is Father Mouse in Junctionville. Am I coming through?
The equipment is in working order.
Oh, well, listen, we want to know what's the matter with Santa.
You'll have to be more specific, sir.
I'll be specific. How about these letters that all came back, not even opened?
You did say Junctionville, sir.
Yes, Junctionville.
Oh, that explains it, sir. Santa didn't like that letter in the Junctionville register, sir. Not one bit.
Letter? What letter? Who wrote it?
I wish I knew. It was signed, all of us.
Hello. Back issues, Junctionville Register. In the cellar.
A citizen to see you, Mr. Mayor.
Citizen, they're not allowed in here. This is public property.
This one says he has an answer to our problem.
Then show him in. Show him in.
Mr. Joshua Trundle, a clockmaker.
Mr. Mayor and Honorable Councilman, I think we all know what the problem is.
We have concluded that for reasons unknown, Mr. Claus, Santa that is, has taken an unconscionable attitude of hostile retaliation toward... heck, he's mad at us.
That's just what I think, too, and I want to make him happy again. With this.
Very handsome, Mr. Trundle. But, how will a clock make him happy?
It's not an ordinary clock. At exactly midnight on Christmas Eve, when Santa is flying overhead, he'll hear this.
Christmas chimes are calling, Santa, Santa, every heart recalling, Santa, Santa, come on, old Kris Kringle, down the Milky Way.
Of course, this is only a small model with the children singing. I'd have to make a big one, big enough for Santa to see it and hear it.
I move to authorize construction at once.
Second.
All those in favor? And don't you dare say no, McDevitt.
Aye.
Carried. You may build your clock, Mr. Trundle, and may the enchanting tones of its melody soar to the pinnacle of the celestial heights where... heck, get started.
I found it! Dear editor, Santa Claus is a fraudulent myth rooted in unconscious fantasies and emerging as a deceitful lie.
P.S. The reindeer are phony, too.
Signed, all of us.
No wonder Santa's angry.
Who would send him a letter like that?
Big words. It sounds like the mayor.
Long words. Long words. Long words.
Oh, no, it couldn't be.
Albert,
Yes, Father.
there's something we've got to talk about.
I said, yes, Father.
Yes, Father, what?
I wrote the letter. My friends and I, that is. All of us.
You didn't, Albert.
Dear editor, Santa Claus is a fraudulent myth rooted in...
Enough.
Write another one, right away, apologizing.
But I can't.
Why not?
That letter was true.
You don't know as much as you think because you only think with your head. So you have a lot of trouble believing in things you can't see or touch.
Like, for instance, what things?
How about fairies and leprechauns on St. Patrick's Day? How about just about everything that makes a holiday gay? There's more to the world than meets the eye. When doubt's in your mind, give your heart a try. Let up a little on the wonder become like me. Let up a little on the wonder why and give your heart a try.
What is spring without the Easter bunny?
Like a rainbow that doesn't end in money.
And a Valentine would certainly look stupid
Without a Cupid,
so let his arrow in your heart.
that would be a start. There's more to the world than meets the eye. When doubt's in your mind, give your heart a try. Let up a little on the wonder why and give your heart a try. Here's our first example of how you've ruined everyone's Christmas with your opinions. This children's hospital once knew laughter. Best medicine there is, but not anymore. There's Davy Thomas, best artist in school. He made that picture of Santa when he thought that Santa cared.
These are just kids. Grown-ups never believe in Santa.
Don't quite know everything, do you? Everyone's asleep. Mr. Trundle's been hard at work making a special clock. There's the model. When the clock strikes 12 on Christmas Eve, it'll play a song welcoming Santa. Does that sound like a man who doesn't believe?
Song? When the hands come together like this?
What's the matter with you? You want to wake everyone up?
That's pretty neat. Does it work on the gear and pinion principle or an AC synchronous motor?
Well, it's more of a gear, what? Synchronous who?
Ever since Copernicus, Dad, it was known that...
Never mind, never mind. You may know algebra, son, but this time the whole town's counting on this clock.
Hello, citizens. We are gathered on this auspicious occasion to honor a distinguished gentleman whose inspired and consummate excellence in the craft of chronometric creation has, oh, heck, he made one whale of a clock. Mr. Joshua Trundle. And now, Mr. Trundle, if you will start your magnificent clock and its song that will make Santa Claus our friend again.
With pleasure.
What in God's name? That's a cliffhanger for a record? Just some gears clanging around? Jody, turn it over. Pardon me. Now, as many of you know, I starred with George Goebbels on Hollywood Squares. Joel Grey, I can't say I had the pleasure of working with him, although he did beat me out as the MC in Cabaret. I was quite a singer, you know, and I thought I'd look great in a tuxedo and lipstick and pancake makeup. Not that new version, though. No one wants to see Vincent Price in no shirt and suspenders. Damn it, Jody, what are you doing?
After the clock went kerplooey, life changed for Mr. Trundle. No one trusted him anymore.
Please, come back. I'm still a good clockmaker, really, I am.
What do you want?
I'm Joshua Trundle. I've come to fix the clock.
Ain't you fixed things enough around here?
But I made that clock for the town, for Santa. It's got to work by Christmas Eve, and I can make it work.
What seems to be the trouble?
This joker wants to get in. Says he came to fix the clock.
Is that what he says? Well, let me tell you something, Trundle. Of all the incompetent, insolent purveyors of chicanery that I have ever... oh, heck, go home.
Winter came and things got tough for the Trundles. And if you think they had it bad, we'd have swapped our whiskers for a peanut shell or a round, ripe apple seed, but meals don't fall from empty tables. Then, finally, it was Christmas Eve.
No sense in hanging stockings, Dad.
There's no one to fill them this year. Unless you believe in miracles.
Now, don't go saying that. The night's not over yet. There's always hope. Miracles happen most every day to people like you and me. But don't expect a miracle unless you help make it to be. So you hope, and I'll hurry. You pray, and I'll plan. We'll do what's necessary, 'cause even a miracle needs a hand. You love, and I'll labor. You sit, and I'll stand. Get help from our next door neighbor, 'cause even a miracle needs a hand. We'll help our Maker to make our dreams come true, but I can't do it alone. So here's what we're gonna do. You hope, and I'll hurry. You pray, and I'll plan. We'll do what's necessary, 'cause even a miracle needs a hand.
We'll help our Maker to make our dreams come true, but we can't do it alone. So what are we gonna do?
You wish,
We wish.
and I'll whittle. You drip while I try. Let's all try to help a little, 'cause even a miracle needs a hand.
Come, children, it's time for bed.
Even a miracle needs a hand.
What is it?
My fault. All my fault. I've ruined everyone's Christmas.
I know you wrote the letter, Albert. You told us so, and that was honest of you. But as you said, it was your opinion.
No, that isn't it. Something else.
What else?
Mr. Trundle's clock in the village hall. I wanted to see how it worked, so I climbed up into it and
Kerplunk?
kaplooey.
You broke the clock?
I didn't mean it, Father. I'm sorry. So sorry.
It's not enough to be sorry. When you've done something wrong, you have to correct the thing you did.
That's it. I'll fix it, Father. I'll fix the clock by midnight. Then maybe Santa will.
You believe in Santa?
I don't know. But I've learned that I still got a lot to learn.
But, son, you don't know how to fix a clock.
That's all right, Father. Copernicus knew. You hope, and I'll hurry. You pray, and I'll plan. We'll do what's necessary, 'cause even a miracle needs a hand.
Good. 'Good luck.
Father Mouse?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Trundle.
Not very merry, I'm afraid.
You're right, of course. And it's my fault. My family's.
How so?
My older boy, Albert, first he insulted Santa, and then... I can hardly say it.
Go on.
I'm afraid he got into your clock to see how it worked, and then...
Kerplunk.
Kerplooey.
So, that was it.
The boy has repented. He's trying to make amends right now.
Diameter of coil in inverse ratio to mainspring.
Which brings us to where we were. 3 minutes, 3 seconds to Christmas. No chimes, no song, no Santa.
Christmas snow is falling, carols fill the air, but it won't be Christmas till Santa Claus is here. Christmas chimes are calling, Santa, Santa, every heart recalling, Santa, Santa. Come on, oh Kris Kringle, down the Milky Way. Christmas chimes are calling, Santa, we need you today. If you don't believe in Santa, Santa, think that he's deceiving, Santa, Santa. Think about a Christmas with no Christmas cheer. Christmas chimes are calling Santa and his 8 reindeer. We love his laughter, his jingling forever after. The bells will ring. Christmas chimes are calling Santa, Santa, every heart recalling Santa, Santa. Come on, oh Kris Kringle, down the Milky Way. Christmas chimes are calling Santa, we need you today.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away all. Ho, ho, ho.
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly, that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight,
Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Well, wasn't that a lovely tale? George Gobel and rodents. Now, if anybody's still with me and still awake, I think we're going to throw another record on. This one ties into some of the Christmas episodes, some of the $6 Million Man adventures. Jody, spin the vinyl. And would you get me some more of that peppermint bark? It's delicious.
Christmas is a time of universal joy. All men, no matter what field of endeavor they pursue, feel the spirit of the Yule season. That is, all men except Fritz Koenig.
I'm sorry, Fritz, but I can no longer use you. We've become automated.
But, Mr. Dancer, I'm a master craftsman. You have said that I am the best toy maker in the world. Why, no one can turn out the quality of work that I do.
That's true, Fritz, but you take too long. I need quantity, not quality. I have inventories to fill, profit margins to maintain. This is a business, Fritz.
But my new invention, the duplicator, you said it would help things along.
I'm sorry, Fritz, but our tests were conclusive. The duplicator cannot produce a high-quality duplicate toy.
You said you were not interested in quality.
Well, what I meant was...
Give me my machine.
It's worthless, I tell you.
Then give it back.
No.
Return my invention, I'll kill you.
Get away from me, old man. Jerry, get in here. I have something for you to get rid of.
At the headquarters of the Office of Scientific Intelligence, Chief Oscar Goldman is in a meeting with Colonel Steve Austin.
Steve, I've got a strange one here. I'm not sure what to make of it.
Tell me about it, Oscar.
The local police found a badly beaten elderly man in an alleyway early this morning. He was barely alive when they brought him into the hospital.
How is he now?
It looks like he's going to make it.
Since when are we interested in characters found sleeping in the street?
This particular character was Dr. Fritz Koenig.
I don't recognize the name.
Not too many people know of him. He immigrated to the United States before the Second World War. He was a specialist in molecular structure.
What was he doing in the alley?
We don't know, Steve.
Is he out of work? Did he suffer from exposure? It gets rather cold this time of the year.
All the indicators point to foul play, Steve. My sources inform me that Koenig has been working as a toy designer for the Dancer Manufacturing Company for the past 10 years.
A toy designer?
Yes. Officially, he had dropped out of sight, but we felt he was important enough to keep tabs on.
What do you want me to do, Oscar?
I've got a feeling that Dr. Koenig is back doing his old work in molecular structure, and someone is trying to steal it from him. From now on, he's going to be covered 24 hours.
By me?
Not just yet. First...
I know, the first stop is a Dancer Manufacturing Company.
Be careful, Steve.
Later that evening, at the Dancer Manufacturing Company, Colonel Steve Austin quietly slips in through an open vent.
My childhood dream come true. Free reign of a toy factory. Uh-oh, someone's coming. I'd better find a place to hide. There, behind those boxes. I gotta show you, Mr. Vasilich, this is a genuine article.
We are prepared to pay whatever amount is necessary to take possession of the machine, if and only if it performs to specifications.
That is the purpose of this test, to prove the capabilities of the molecular duplicator.
The power of such a unit is very great indeed. We could revolutionize the tactics of war.
Here we are, sir. Jerry, prepare the machine for use. You'll notice that a portable power source has been adapted to the duplicator so it can operate on any terrain.
Very impressive.
Now, watch over there. That toy army tank. Set the duplicator on 5 and... See? In a matter of seconds, a perfect duplicate of the original toy tank.
Amazing. But will it work with full-sized weapons?
Why, I don't know.
But I must know. I have been trusted with a great sum of money. I must not be swindled. I need to see an actual tank reproduced.
Then it will be arranged immediately.
What is that?
Attack dogs. I keep them here to frighten away intruders. I think we have one on the premises right now. Jerry, release the dogs. That's my cue to exit. I hope I can outrun those dogs. Gotta find a way out of here. There he is. Stop him. There's the fence. I have to jump the fence. 1, 2, here goes. Made it. Now to report.
Early the following morning, Steve Austin meets Oscar at the City General Hospital.
How is Dr. Koenig?
Getting stronger, Steve. How did you make out last night?
I'll tell you when we see Koenig. I think there are a few things he can explain. I tell you this much, Oscar. He hasn't been idle in the last couple of years.
Something big?
Tops, Oscar. And a man by the name of Vasilich seems very interested in paying whatever it takes to own it.
Alexei Vasilich?
I've never seen him before.
Tall, heavy-set, wears flashy clothing?
That's him. Who is he?
He's a weapons broker, the most powerful underground espionage agent in the Western Hemisphere. I've been trying to get my hands on him for years.
You may get your chance.
I hope so. Let's see what Dr. Koenig has to say. Dr. Koenig, this is Colonel Austin. There's something he would like to discuss with you.
It has to do with a molecular duplicator.
How did you know about that?
I saw it work last night. A man named Dancer.
That thief, charlatan, he knew my invention worked all along. He was trying to cheat me.
What is this all about?
I retired from physics 10 years ago. I could no longer get myself involved in theories and equations, so I used a talent I had developed as a child, designing models and toys. I went to work for Mr. Dancer. He said I was good, but I couldn't turn out the quantity he needed to show a profit. So I invented the duplicator to reproduce my toys in quantity. I thought with the Christmas season upon us, he would be happy with the idea. But no, that scoundrel, he robbed me.
And now he plans to sell it to the highest bidder.
We have to stop him. What's his next move?
Vasilich didn't want to buy the machine on the basis of the demonstration with a miniature tank last night. Somehow Dancer is going to have to get his hands on the real thing and prove that the duplicator can work on a major scale.
That fool, that is impossible. It can only work with toys. I designed it for small objects.
Can you be sure that it will not work on a full-sized armored tank?
Well, no, I can't guarantee anything.
Steve, I think we'd better get moving. Where would Dancer get a tank?
I've been thinking about that, Oscar. The logical thing for him to do is to bring Vasilich to the tank.
But he can't get into a military base.
No, but the National Guard Armory has a tank platoon parked out back. I don't even think they have a sentry on duty.
Let's get over there. I'll call for reinforcements.
I don't think that's a good idea, Oscar. We can't afford to scare them off. We need both the duplicator and Vasilich.
What do you suggest?
Let me go in alone. Wait for my signal.
I'll wait, but only until I think you may need me. Deal?
Okay.
That evening at the National Guard Armory,
I'm sorry to inconvenience you this way, Mr. Vasilich, but it was more practical to bring you here.
I don't mind. It gives me a chance to look over your new armored weapons.
Well, then, I believe we are ready for the demonstration. Do you have the money?
$4 million. Will it be sufficient?
I don't know. This is a very expensive machine. Other powers might pay more fantastic sums.
But at the present, I am the only one with the cash, Mr. Dancer. So let us stop playing games and proceed.
Yes, of course. Jerry, set up the molecular duplicator. Now we will see what this machine is truly capable of.
It worked. You have produced another tank.
You see, I told you it'd be worth the money. And now if you're satisfied, I'll take the machine and the money.
Who's there?
Jerry, get that guy.
Dancer, you will die for setting up this trap.
No, I swear, I didn't know. It's all over, Vasilevich. We got a nice, cozy cell waiting for you.
Steve, what happened?
Vasilevich shot Dancer and his accomplice, Jerry. He thought it was a trap.
What was that loud explosion?
That was Dancer's dream blowing up in his face.
You mean...
Dr. Koenig was right, Oscar. The machine doesn't work on large objects. The tank was reproduced, but the molecules couldn't stay together. It exploded into dust.
That pile of rubble is all that is left of a tank?
Well, Dr. Koenig at least will have his machine back.
I was hoping we were onto something that really worked.
Better luck next Christmas, Oscar. Maybe you should buy one of Koenig's toys.
With only 7 shopping days left until Christmas, Colonel Steve Austin suddenly remembers he has not bought any gifts for his friends and relatives. He decides to go to Geffner's, the large department store downtown.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, I'm looking for something in perfumes.
Any particular fragrance?
I thought you might be able to suggest something.
Well, there certainly is a large variety to choose from.
I can see that. What's all that commotion about?
That's where the store Santa Claus holds court. Probably some kid didn't get what he wanted and is registering a complaint.
Sounds more serious than that.
Hey, stop that man. He stole my Christmas present. Hey, you, stop!
Watch it, mister. This is a crowded store. Someone could get hurt.
Sorry, pal, I'm in a hurry.
I understand. Christmas rush.
Yeah, well, I gotta run.
Hey, mister, give me my Christmas present.
Go away.
Give it to me.
Come on, kid, go away.
What seems to be the problem?
He stole my Christmas present. The one that Santa Claus gave me.
Look, pal, she's my daughter. I wanted to surprise her. Now she's gonna ruin the whole thing.
He's not my father. Give me my present.
I think you better give it to her.
Get out of my way.
Put that gun away. Someone could get hurt.
Not if you leave me alone. Now stand aside. I'm walking out of here.
Oh, you're not.
Later, at the Office of Scientific Intelligence, Colonel Steve Austin is in a security conference with his boss, Oscar Goldman.
Good thing you called me in on this, Steve.
When I grabbed that guy, he dropped the package and it broke open. I could see the thing inside was no ordinary Christmas present. That's why I picked it up and got it to you.
Steve, you seem to have a talent for finding trouble. But in this case, you may have stumbled on a major espionage ring.
An espionage ring?
Steve, the man you fought with in the department store is Harrison Fredericks. For a long while, he's been known to be a free agent in the espionage market, selling his services to the highest bidder. But what is even more interesting to us is what he was carrying in that package.
What was it?
It was an electronic fuel cell for our latest attack missile, the SYR-9.
The SYR-9? I thought that was out in California. No one is supposed to know about it.
Someone does, Steve. And I have an idea how we can break this ring.
I'm all ears.
I'm going to need you for this. I don't mean to put you in an awkward position, but I don't have any other way to go about it.
Break it to me gently, Oscar.
Steve, after Fredericks was arrested, we suspected that the man playing Santa Claus at the department store was being used as a go-between for moving the stolen parts.
Did you bring him in?
About 20 minutes ago. He's clean, Steve. He doesn't know a thing. He probably wasn't involved at all. Just gave out the gifts to kids in line.
Which means a dead end.
Not necessarily. If he were to take a few days off and be replaced by another Santa who could keep a trained eye on things, we may get lucky.
Who did you have in mind?
Why, you, of course.
Mr. Maris?
Yes, who are you?
I'm Steve Austin, the new Santa Claus for the toy department.
I can't see why I hired you. No belly, no beard. You need a total makeup job. I don't know whether or not you'll be convincing.
The man in the office upstairs said to report to you.
Yes, I see.
Where do I change?
In the locker room at the back. Yours is number 13. You'll find a red suit and beard in the locker.
Thanks.
This is Maris. We may have some trouble. No, a new Santa Claus. The other guy got sick or something. No, I just think that it's strange that this new guy shows up after that guy, Fredericks, gets arrested. I don't know. He may be an undercover agent. He doesn't look like a professional Santa Claus. Yeah, well, if there are any problems, what should I do? Are you sure? I've never done that before. Yes, sir. Goodbye.
I think I need some more padding around the middle.
Well, let's fix that beard first. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, just go out there and hand out the gifts. Make sure you take them from the pile on the left.
On the left?
Yeah. And don't get it confused or you may be out of a job.
Hey, don't I know you?
Of course, everyone knows me. I'm Santa Claus.
There's no such person as Santa Claus.
Then who am I?
I think you're the man who was here the other day, the one who tried to get my present back for me.
I'm Santa Claus.
I told you there's no such person.
Then what are you doing on my lap?
I want a present.
But you got one the other day.
No, I didn't. The police took it. I want another one.
Okay, here you go.
No, I want it from that pile.
Those are for later. I can't give you those now.
Santa, that's quite all right. Give the little girl a gift from the pile she wants.
I thought you said...
Just do as I say.
Hello?
Oscar, it's your favorite Santa Claus.
Steve, how are things going?
I think I'm onto something, Oscar. Do you remember that little girl who accused Fredericks of stealing her present yesterday?
Yes, her name was Sandy.
That's right. She came by again today for another gift. The boss of the department, Maris, insisted that I give her a box from a different pile of gifts.
What do you make of it, Steve? Could the child be involved?
I'd hate to think so, but at this point, I think we have to consider every possibility.
Get back to me as soon as you need the troops.
I will. Goodbye, Oscar.
Don't turn around, Mr. Austin. If you make one move, it'll be your last.
I don't understand.
I have a revolver pointed at your back, and I'm an expert shot.
Listen, Mr. Maris, I like to joke as much as the next man.
This is no joke, Mr. Austin. I suspected from the very beginning you might be an undercover agent. Now, my suspicions are confirmed. I heard every word of your telephone call.
Then you are the man behind the espionage ring.
No questions, Mr. Austin. Therefore, no answers.
Which means you don't know who the head of the outfit is. I didn't think you had the brain power for the job.
Enough of this. I don't have to listen to any more.
I'll bet you get from every side. But tell me, where does the girl Sandy fit into this?
She knows nothing. She just serves as a messenger.
That's a great job for a kid of her age.
Quiet! You've spoken your last word. I have no alternative. I must kill you.
Don't be a fool, Maris. Federal agents are surrounding the building right now.
By then, it'll be too late. Goodbye, Mr. Austin.
Steve, are you all right?
Just fine, Oscar. Our man here is in the top of the line.
Don't worry about that. I had a hunch you might need help, and I had one of our men on the scene. He followed the little girl out of the store, and she led us right to Mr. Big. And we grabbed him, just as she handed him another one of the missing fuel cells, wrapped up in a Christmas package.
And I guess that ties it all up.
Looks that way.
Wait a minute. There's one more thing.
What's that, Steve?
I owe a little girl a Christmas present.
Hold on, there's still 2 more stories on this. It's a potpourri of Steve Austin, which is actually a candle that you can purchase at Yankee Candle for Christmas this year. Disco version.
At the headquarters of the Air Defense Command, the watch guard of the United States Security Against Enemy Attack, a strange radio message has been intercepted. Unable to decipher the highly sophisticated code, experts have forwarded the message to the Office of Scientific Intelligence in Washington.
Steve, I'm glad you could make it.
No problem, Oscar. I'm staying in town for the holidays.
Steve, the Air Defense Command in Colorado Springs picked up an unusual radio message the other day on a restricted frequency.
No identification codes?
That's part of the problem. All messages received over the defense network are preceded by an identification code, and they are followed by a second ident code before signing off.
And this communication has no code on either side.
They can't even decode the message.
What are we going to do?
It defies analysis, Steve. As a matter of fact, nothing on record as language or numeric code is anything like it. I've called in Dr. Landis.
Ethel Landis?
She's the top expert in the field of coded communication.
And she has a lot of kooky ideas, Oscar.
I know, Steve, but we can't afford to overlook any possibilities.
Dr. Landis is here, Mr. Goldman.
Thank you. Please send her right in. She's here, Steve.
Hello, Oscar. It's been a long time. And Colonel Steve Austin. What a pleasant surprise. You're really calling out the troops, Oscar?
Yes, well, have you gone over the information I sent you?
Yes.
And have you reached any conclusions?
Yes, I have, but...
Well, don't keep us in suspense, Dr. Landis.
Please, Steve, call me Ethel. Oscar, this may seem far-fetched, but my observations are based on carefully computed data.
Well?
Do you know what a supernova is?
Exploding star.
That's correct, Steve. In this case, we are talking about the sun of a solar system similar to ours.
I don't see...
It's really very simple. Approximately 2,000 years ago, a large star appeared in the sky over the Middle East. Many scientists believe it was a supernova.
What does this have to do with the radio messages?
You won't believe this.
Try me.
Okay. I believe the messages are the final words to come from that solar system before their sun exploded.
If that's true...
Millions of people believe that was the guiding light to Bethlehem.
It was. And that is why it is imperative to decipher the message.
You haven't done that?
I can't. The radioactivity in our atmosphere is cutting down the reception. The only way to get the entire communique is to send someone up into space above the radiation belt.
Looks like I've been elected.
2 days later at Cape Canaveral, Colonel Austin and Dr. Landis are in the forward stage of a Titan rocket awaiting takeoff.
I didn't realize you were going to join me, Doctor.
Someone who was familiar with intergalactic communications had to go.
Do you really think that this may be some sort of Christmas greeting?
It's the only thing that makes sense.
15 seconds, Steve.
All systems show green for go. Fuel positive, safety breakers on, escape mode is armed.
Ignition. We have ignition. We have a liftoff.
Houston, this is Voyager 1. We are 20 minutes into flight. We are climbing to predestined orbit for receipt of communication.
You are cleared for orbit climb, Voyager. Adjust speed to 1,200 knots. Roll to 45 degrees left.
Roger, Houston. Rolling to 45 degrees port. Speed to 1200.
I'm starting to receive the message, Steve.
I'll turn on the recorders.
Steve, we show a trouble light down here.
My panel is clear, Oscar.
Everything seems fine.
Check your guidance system. Left end gyros.
Still negative, Oscar.
We show trouble indicators. Voyager 1, come in. Please, Steve, come in.
Houston, this is Voyager 1. We show trouble status on forward guidance system. Vessel is out of control. We've been struck by space debris. Outer hull is shattered. I can't hold course.
Voyager 1, this is Houston. Do you read? I repeat, Voyager 1, this is Houston. Do you copy? Steve, Dr. Landis, please answer.
Houston, this is Voyager 1. Do you read? Oscar, come in, please. Come in.
It's no use, Steve. The radio's dead. What happens now?
We drift.
For how long?
Until the end.
There's nothing to be done, even with your bionics?
I'm afraid we're helpless.
I thought the radio was dead.
It is. I don't know what we're receiving.
It's coming directly through. It must be the alien message.
Then you must be right. It did originate out here.
Let's see if the recording equipment is still working. It still works.
Let's get it all.
The entire cycle takes about 25 minutes.
At least we got what we came for. Now if we could only get home.
I have the entire message recorded, Steve. I wish I could get back to my lab to decode it.
Ethel, do you think the gyros blew out because of a power overload when we were struck?
That would seem to be the only likely explanation.
Which means that a boost of high voltage energy into the power system should start the emergency power.
It might, Colonel. What are you suggesting?
My bionic power source linked to the ship's system might give us enough power to ignite the guidance relays and resume radio contact. Then they could bring us down from the ground.
But what will that do to you, Colonel?
That's a chance I'll have to take.
Colonel Austin. Steve, are you all right? Steve, answer me.
Voyager 1, do you read? I repeat, Voyager 1, come in.
This is Voyager 1. Colonel Austin is seriously injured. Please bring us home.
With radio communication reestablished, ground control brings the Voyager 1 safely back to Earth. Steve Austin is sent to the special OSI facility for vital treatment on his bionic system.
Hey, buddy. Merry Christmas, and welcome back to Earth.
It's good to be back.
That was a smart idea, plugging yourself into the ship's electrical system.
It was a miracle.
That's not the only miracle, Steve.
What did you find, Ethel?
It's very exciting. I've decoded the message.
What does it say?
First, let me say that I think it is from a solar system that no longer exists. It might have been a warning sent out by the inhabitants of the system when they realized their sun was going to explode.
You mean the supernova?
That's right, Oscar.
What was the message?
As close as I can interpret, it says, prepare for a new day.
That's all?
Yes. But what is really ironic is that the message is just reaching us now.
What do you mean?
My original theory was right. The supernova occurred exactly 2011 years ago, on the first Christmas Eve.
Who is talking about miracles?
The North Pole is the most desolate, forbidding landscape on the face of the Earth. But that has not stopped men from wanting control over that vast flow of snow and ice. But only one man has succeeded in setting up a comfortable home and a thriving business.
Come on, fellows, let's get back to work.
Not until we discuss a change in the working conditions.
Curio, since when do you speak for the others?
I'm the foreman. We demand a higher salary and better hours.
We can discuss that after Christmas. We only have 6 days left until delivery, Christmas Eve.
That old routine won't work anymore, Santa Claus. We have to earn a decent living. No pay increase, no work.
Then I will hire other elves to finish the toys.
No, Santa, you won't do that either.
And just who is going to stop me?
I will.
Stop this craziness. You're destroying my toys. Who is this madman?
I am Rabbit, and I am here to make sure no one crosses the picket line.
In Washington, at the headquarters of the OSI, Office of Scientific Intelligence, Steve Austin is conferring with Oscar Goldman.
Oscar, what is so important that I have to interrupt my Christmas vacation?
I'm sorry, Steve, but we have a very serious situation on our hands.
And of course, only I can handle it.
You should be flattered, Steve. You're my best agent.
I would trade that honor for some time off during the Christmas holidays.
Steve, I received a call from the National Weather Service early this morning.
I didn't know they were part of the Defense Intelligence System.
They most certainly are. We need them for satellite reports, weather forecasts for the Air Force.
I get the idea, Oscar. What's the problem?
The polar ice cap at the North Pole.
Don't keep me in suspense, Oscar.
It's melting, Steve.
You can't be serious. The North Pole melting?
According to my calculations, the temperature under the ice is rising at the rate of 1 degree per hour.
How much time does that leave us?
If the rate of thaw continues at its present speed, the entire northern hemisphere could be under 2 feet of water by Christmas Day.
That's only 5 days from now.
Steve, you must get up to the polar region immediately. You can function without worrying about the weather conditions.
Are there any leads, Oscar?
Just this. We've discovered certain areas are giving off artificial heat. We've been able to pinpoint some of the generating points from our satellite sensors. I suggest we try those areas first.
What do you mean, we, Oscar?
I'm going with you.
Later that morning, on an Air Force jet streaking north to the polar ice cap.
Oscar, do you have any idea who might want to melt the ice cap?
No, I don't. I checked with the Defense Department before we left. There are no reports of enemy action in this sector.
What do the computers show?
We drew a blank there, too. Red light. We're almost at the jump site.
Jump site?
Steve, you're a pilot. You know we can't land on the ice.
Oscar, you didn't tell me about this.
It's too late to argue about it now. There's the green light. See you on the ground. Don't get your feet wet.
After landing on the cold Arctic surface, Steve and Oscar unload the gear they need to find the heat source.
Let me handle the heavy stuff, Oscar.
You never cease to amaze me, Steve.
We, too, are impressed by your great strength. No, do not move. You are covered.
Who are you?
That is none of your business.
If you were going to point that machine gun at me, I would say it's my business. Oscar, I think we can rush this guy.
Careful, Steve. He may be trigger happy.
No talking. You are to only answer my questions.
My friend and I are here on a natural history expedition for the National Scientific Guild.
Enough of this nonsense. You are spies. Scientists do not parachute out of U.S. Air Force planes. What is your mission here?
We came to see Santa Claus. He's right behind you.
Where?
Now, Oscar.
You didn't really think I'd fall for that old trick, did you?
Steve, I'm hit.
You are my prisoners. Come with me.
After landing on the Arctic terrain, Steve and Oscar were accosted by the enemy agent Ramat at gunpoint, captured and locked up in an old warehouse.
Is the wound serious, Oscar?
I don't think so, Steve. Looks like a scratch. Where are we?
It's a warehouse of some sort.
Look at these boxes. Why, they're loaded with toys.
Oscar, you don't think... Hey, who's that?
Well, I'll be. No, he doesn't really exist.
Who doesn't exist? A fat man with a white beard?
Who are you?
What is the world coming to? Is TV destroying everything? I repeat, I am a fat old man. I have a white beard and a warehouse full of toys, and this is the North Pole.
Oscar, there is a Santa Claus.
They'll never believe this in Washington.
They'll believe anything in Washington, Mr. Goldman and Mr. Austin. Pardon me, Colonel Austin.
How do you know who we are?
From up here, I can see everything. Could we strike a deal in some bionic man dolls? I think it would really help business.
Maybe later, but first tell us what's going on here.
It started out as a labor problem. My workers...
You mean there are elves, too?
Sure, I can't afford full-sized people. They eat too much.
Go on.
Curio, my foreman, organized a strike and called in this gun-toting terrorist, Ramat, to be his enforcer. And they locked me up in here.
But why is he trying to melt the ice cap?
To put the heat on. If he floods out my warehouses by Christmas, I won't be able to deliver any of these toys.
Not to mention what it could do to the entire world.
We'd better hurry. There are only 2 days left until Christmas.
Locked in Santa's warehouse, Steve and Oscar have to figure out a plan to return Santa to control of his toy manufacturing colony. First, they must disarm the terrorist, Ramat.
Getting Ramat's gun shouldn't be too difficult, but we have to help Santa get his elves back to work.
I don't know how to do it.
You might give in to some of their demands.
Never.
Why not? Haven't they worked faithfully for you?
Yes, but this last act was unforgivable.
I'll agree they went overboard, but give them a chance.
In 48 hours, hours, my group will control the world. Major cities will be underwater, and you will all be dead.
Pretty sure of yourself.
I have planned this operation very carefully. Those stupid elves provided the perfect cover. They, too, will soon be prisoners.
Oh, no, we won't. Don't move.
Where did you come from?
I suspected you all along, traitor. I'm sorry, Santa. I should have trusted your judgment. Drop your weapon, Ramot. I have an L5 laser pistol in my hand.
You won't take me!
It's all over, Ramot. You're coming back to the United States to face trial.
First, he's going to tell us where the heat generators are located.
Never!
Let me handle this, Colonel.
He's all yours.
As I was saying, Ramot, before the little skirmish which just took place, this is an L5 automatic laser pistol. It will cut you in half in a matter of seconds. This is your last chance to talk.
I'll tell!
Later, after all the heat generators have been cleared and Oscar has seen that the temperature is falling back to normal, he and Steve prepare to leave with their prisoner.
I don't know how to thank you, gentlemen.
Well, I hate to ask for anything, but I'm sure my office would like to analyze that automatic laser pistol.
Of course. And we will give one to Colonel Austin so he will have something to play with.
You mean it's a toy?
One of my best.
Well, weren't those stories fascinating? Steve Austin, what an exciting individual. Well, does anybody have time for one more record, or are you all going off to sleep? Maybe we just put one more on, and if you doze off, you doze off.
Operations are... It is the day before Christmas. We join newscaster Jimmy Olsen as he moves through the crowd outside the fence.
Hi, everybody. What a day this is. There's an excitement in the air like you wouldn't believe. Never saw so many happy faces. The holiday spirit is so strong you can almost feel it. Excuse me, sir. I'm Jimmy Olsen, WGBS TV. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
How do you like Washington?
Great.
What do you think of that tree up there?
Fantastic. I'm from Oregon, and I know something about trees, and I tell you that's got to be the biggest Christmas tree ever. Make a great show when the lights go on.
Thank you, sir. And you, ma'am, what do you think of all this?
Beautiful, just beautiful. I can hardly wait until tonight. It will be almost as beautiful as stars over my home state of Alabama.
Thank you, ma'am. And you, sir, have you ever been to one of these?
And while Jimmy Olsen continues his interviews, we switch to the WGBS studios in Metropolis, where Lois Lane and Clark Kent are watching a studio monitor.
Isn't he doing a great job, Clark? And on his first big assignment.
Sure is, and so is the cameraman, getting some great close-ups. Matter of fact, I thought I saw someone
Oh, look, that young couple and their little daughter. Listen.
And you say you're from Ohio?
Right, first time in Washington.
And it's all so wonderful. When are they going to turn on the lights, Daddy?
Right after dark, Amy. And it'll be the biggest, brightest, most beautiful Christmas tree you ever saw. It'll light up the whole lawn.
Will it light up the whole world, Daddy? Light up the whole world.
Oh, Clark, isn't she adorable?
Light up the whole world. Light up the whole...
Clark, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just a little headache. It'll go away. Think I'll just go out for a little air. Walk down by the river. But something was wrong, and the man of steel felt a deep uneasiness grip his whole being. That face I saw in the crowd during Jimmy's interviews and what the little girl said light up the whole world. Somehow they go together like parts of a puzzle, but I can't seem to make them fit. If only I could remember. And as he walks along, racking his brain for answers that don't come, he sees the UN building ahead and decides to go in and listen to the debate in the Security Council in an overtime session.
And in conclusion,
I wish to place my government irrevocably on record in favor of this giant step forward on the road to peace. Thank you.
It is my great privilege and honor as chairman to announce that the Security Council of the United Nations has this day voted unanimously in favor of the resolution banning the use of all nuclear weapons. I wish to thank the delegates for their devotion to duty and their self-sacrifice in giving up so much of their holiday time so that this legislation could be completed.
That is good news, and it's about time. Banning nuclear weapons is the best. Nuclear weapons, that's it. That face in the crowd. It was Thurston Kilgore, the great nuclear physicist. The last time I saw him was, a Senate committee hearing 8 years ago.
Let me see if I understand you correctly, Dr. Kilgore. You say we now have nuclear superiority enough to deter...
Not just superiority, Senator, and not just a deterrent. We have the capacity to destroy our enemies at one stroke, right now, today.
You mean...
I mean we should launch our nuclear missiles immediately.
Without warning of any kind?
Without warning, without delay, without mercy. Wipe them all out.
You would destroy over 600 million human beings, men, women, children, just like that?
Just like that. It will be the greatest display of man-made firepower in the history of the universe.
He's mad.
America will be the master of the world for 1,000 years.
That will be all, Dr. Kilgore.
No one will dare oppose us. No one.
Remove that man.
We will remake every government in the world in our image. And those that oppose us.
One of the most brilliant scientists of our time had obviously lost his mind and had to be confined in a mental institution. Diagnosed a hopeless case. A hopeless case? Running loose on the streets of Washington. Great Krypton. I've got to get down there right now. This is a job for... Superman. As the mightiest man in the world races through the darkening sky, little does he realize how justified his fears are. At that very moment in his secret laboratory not far from the White House, Thurston Kilgore is talking.
Ah, you're awake, my young friend. Good. Soon you will have the privilege of being part of the greatest Christmas happening in 2,000 years. Oh, all right. I'll remove the gag. But it's no use trying to call for help. No one can hear you. Hold still a minute. Ah, there you are.
I don't understand. Who are you? And what's the big happening you're talking about? And why are you holding me in this place?
I am Thurston Kilgore, scientist. But soon I shall be Thurston Kilgore, master of the world.
Master of the world? You've got to be kidding.
Kidding? Not at all. You see these television screens? I'll turn on number 1. What do you see?
The White House. The Christmas tree on the lawn.
And here's number 2. Now, what do you see?
I'm not sure. Looks like, a missile at a rocket site.
Very good. That rocket, by the way, is ready for immediate launching and carries a payload of 5 nuclear warheads, each 100 times as powerful as the Hiroshima bomb.
But what has this got to do with...
Patience, young man. Patience. And now, screen number 3.
Another rocket.
And 4. And 5. And 6. There you are. The whole picture.
5 multiple-head rockets.
All tied to the controls in the war room of the Pentagon and targeted on our enemies.
But the only person authorized to push the button is...
Yes?
The President of the United States.
Precisely.
But we're not at war, and he's not about to push that button.
Quite right. Not that button, and not knowingly. But there are buttons and buttons.
I still don't.
Like the button that will turn on the lights on that beautiful Christmas tree.
On the White House lawn?
Right.
You mean to say that button is tied into the rocket launch system you just showed me?
Now you're getting it. It's tied in by a remote control circuit I secretly installed.
And when the president pushes the button that lights the tree... Good Lord.
For a brief moment, the lights will go on. And then a bomb concealed in one of the tree ornaments will detonate, destroying everyone in the immediate area.
Including the president?
Especially the president. And simultaneously, 5 beautiful rockets will soar like avenging angels through the night sky. And when they reach their targets, they will light up the whole world.
But what have I got to do with all this? Why hold me?
Because you, my young friend, are the bait in a trap I have set to capture and eliminate once and for all the only man who could possibly interfere with my plan, Superman.
Isn't this exciting? What time will they turn on the lights, Harry?
Yeah, I don't know. Should be any time now.
Will we be able to see the president from here?
I think so. We got here early enough to pick a good spot. Hey, mister, watch where you're going. Oh, my gosh, it's Superman.
I'm sorry, sir. I was looking for a young newscaster, Jimmy Olsen. He was interviewing people right around here a little while ago. Have you seen him?
Oh, sure. He interviewed us.
Did you see where he went?
Last we saw, I went over to that van over there.
Oh, the WGBS mobile unit. Thanks. Nobody here. What's this on the seat? A note addressed to me. If you want to see Jimmy Olsen alive, come to the top floor of the warehouse at the end of L Street. Signed TK. TK. Thurston Kilgore, so I was right. He was the one I saw on TV. And at that moment, a cheer goes up from the crowd.
Hey, look, it's the president.
I know there's something wrong here. Something involving the president, but I don't know what it is, and I have to go save Jimmy. Well, this is the warehouse, but I don't...
Come in, Superman. The door's open.
Kilgore.
Welcome, Superman.
Where's... Oh, Jimmy, there you are. Are you all right?
So far, but you've got to stop him, Superman. He's going to...
Don't worry. I'll take care of him.
You'll take care of nothing, Superman. You're through.
Superman, what's wrong?
I feel weak. Dizzy.
And soon you will feel nothing. This machine duplicates the deadly rays of green kryptonite, the only substance that can destroy the mighty Superman. And so I leave you both. In a few minutes, you, Superman, will be dead. And my crypto ray machine will self-destruct, wiping out all evidence of my connection with this place, including you, little Jimmy.
If only I could get loose.
Ta-ta, both of you. I'm off in my armored car to watch the president light up the world.
And just today, the day before Christmas, the United Nations Security Council, in extraordinary session, voted unanimously to ban all nuclear weapons. On this glorious night before Christmas, therefore, there is more hope than ever that peace on earth and goodwill to all mankind can become a reality.
Come on, get on with it. Get on with it. Light up the tree, Mr. President.
And so, with great joy in my heart, I press the button that will light up this beautiful symbol of brotherhood and love.
And just as his finger touches the button, the figure of the mightiest man on earth swoops down out of the sky.
It's Superman!
Tears one of the ornaments off the tree and hurls it high into the night sky, where it explodes harmlessly with a roar. Now the president is safe at least, but I was too late to prevent the rockets from being fired. Got to stop them somehow. And then occurred one of the most incredible events in the history of the world. Crisscrossing the skies at unbelievable speed, a man of steel flies to each of the 5 rockets in rapid succession, changes their course in mid-flight, and heads them on a collision course with the sun, where their death-dealing potential will be fused with the life-giving energy of Earth's great star. Later, back at the WGBS studios in Metropolis.
What an incredible story, Jimmy.
By sheer luck, my chair fell over as I struggled to break the ropes I was tied up with. And I fell against Kilgore's crypto ray machine, knocking it over and putting it out of action.
With the rays stopped, of course, Superman's strength returned.
And since Kilgore had shown me where the bomb on the Christmas tree and all the rockets were located, I told Superman, and you know the rest.
What happened to Kilgore?
In a way, I feel kind of sorry for him. The failure of his plan was too much for his twisted mind. and the police picked him up, babbling like a baby on the White House lawn.
Clark Kent, where in the world have you been?
Well, I hate to admit it, but I was tired and went up to my room for a nap. What did I miss?
I go on the air at midnight. Listen, and you'll find out.
You're on, Miss Lane.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Lois Lane with the latest WGBS inside story of how Superman saved the life of the president and prevented World War III in what will probably go down as one of the greatest Christmases.
Christmas Eve in Gotham City. Is it our imagination, or is the city more peaceful than usual? Has the magic of Christmas silenced the screaming sirens, the whine of bullets, the thousand frightening voices of terror in the city at night? We find Batman and Robin wondering about the same thing as we join them.
You know, Robin, it's been a pleasure just relaxing at home for a change.
Yeah, no special calls for help from the police or anybody. And I kind of like it for a change, too.
The only thing on our schedule for tonight is the Christmas party at the South Side Mission down on Skid Row. And come to think of it, we better get going.
Okay.
I'll get it. Hello?
Hello. Is this Batman?
Yes.
I have a singing telegram for you.
How nice. Sing away.
I wish you a deadly Christmas. I wish you a deadly Christmas. I wish you a deadly Christmas and no more New Year's.
Who is this?
I can assure you, friend, if you go out tonight, you won't live long enough to find out.
What was that all about?
No, nothing. Just some creep crawling out of the woodwork. Come on, let's get to the party. I don't want to be late.
And as they make their way through the shadowy streets of the city.
Don't turn around, Robin, but I think someone's following us.
How do we handle it?
When we reach the corner just ahead, slip around fast and we'll grab him when he comes by. Ready? Now.
He's coming closer.
Okay. Now. Gotcha! Oh, I'm so sorry, madam. I thought...
How dare you! I'm going to call the police! Help! Help!
She's too hysterical to listen to explanations.
We better get out of here fast.
Are you sure someone was following us?
Well, I thought. If I wasn't sure then, I am now. Over here, quick. In this doorway.
Did you see where the shots came from?
Right across the street. We're trapped.
Hey, Batman. Why don't you just walk out nice and easy like with your little friend and get this over with? Deck them all with an M3 volley. Fa-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Tis the reason I'm so jolly. Fa-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Now I know who that is. It's Rudy Snow, alias Rudolph the Red-Nosed Hitman. Hey, Rudy.
Oh, you remember me, eh?
How about a deal, Rudy? You let us go, and I'll let you go.
Let me go? That's very funny, but you're just wasting time, Batman.
What do we do? Your bluff didn't work.
It was no bluff. Watch this.
The batarang, of course. It can go around corners. Works like a boomerang.
Here she goes.
Oh! Bullseye!
There you are, Captain.
It's Rudolph, the red-nosed hitman. Must be wanted in a dozen states.
And you got him. See you later.
Hey, wait a minute. Any other charges besides assault with intent to murder and illegal possession of a deadly weapon?
Yes. Charge him with disturbing the peace on Christmas Eve.
Don't you think it would be better to go the rest of the way by Batmobile?
Oh, I don't think so. With Rudy in jail, we shouldn't have any more trouble. And it's such a nice, clear night for walking. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Da-da-da-da-dee-doo-da-da-da-da.
Look at that crazy driver. He must be drunk, heading right at us. And his lights shining right in their eyes.
Quick, use the bat ropes.
Flinging their ropes so that they catch onto a ledge 2 stories up on the building behind them, the two clamber up out of harm's way as the killer car, driving right up on the sidewalk, goes out of control. Phew, what a mess. Do you recognize either of those 2 characters?
Do I ever? This one, the driver, is Maxie the Minstrel Man, bouncer at a sleazy go-go joint downtown.
What a name.
Fancied himself a song and dance man, but soon discovered his only talent was beating up helpless drunks.
Any other one? Look, he's dressed in a Santa Claus suit.
It's Sammy, the South Side Santa. For years, he's been a fixture in the Christmas scene down there. I don't get it. He's been involved in petty larceny, but never anything like this.
Look, he's still alive, trying to say something.
You're right. Sammy, it's me, Batman. Can I do anything for you?
No, no. Just listen. Just listen. I didn't want to be in on this. He made me.
Who, Sammy? Who made you?
I could never kill.
He's gone. Poor Sammy. Really as gentle a man as you'd ever meet.
Well, one thing is for sure, someone is out to get us.
And whoever it is knew exactly when we went out tonight and where we were going.
Someone at the Southside Mission?
Yeah, the Southside Mission. After we call the police to clean up here, we're going to take a good look at that place. Seems to me there's more going on down there than a Christmas party for the down and out.
In the Southside Mission, run and financed almost exclusively through the efforts of Dr. Jonathan Carroll, 100 of the less fortunate of Gotham City are enjoying a delicious turkey dinner with all the trimmings.
God bless old Dr. John. This is the first good meal I've had in a month.
I don't know what we'd do down here without him.
When I broke my arm a month ago, he fixed it up and wouldn't charge me a cent.
Look, he's getting up on the stage. He's going to speak. Hooray for Dr. John. Yay, hooray.
Thank you, friend. I hope you're enjoying the meal. And don't be afraid to ask for second. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with any speeches. I wish we could have had some musical entertainment tonight, but instead, Batman and Robin, just in time. Come in, come in.
That's Dr. Carroll. He runs the place, and he's the one who invited us down here.
You think he may be the one that...
Awfully hard to believe, but let's play it straight. Well, Dr. John, nice to see you, and nice to be here. Quite an affair you've put together here.
Oh, I had lots of help from my friends out there, like Helen and William and Mrs. McCready there at the front table. Hi, Mrs. Mack, and especially Rodney Dogood.
Rodney Dogood?
Yes, Rodney's a regular here and practically my right-hand man. He's right over... Oh, not there. Must have stepped out for a bit. He'll probably be right back.
But Rodney Dogood at that moment is up to no good. In his room in a dingy lodging house right across the street from the mission, we see a very different man from the gentle derelict befriended by Dr. John.
Everything I tried failed. My warning not to go out didn't frighten him away. 2 attempts to eliminate him were bungled. This time we will not fail. You got it straight now? When you hear the singing, that's when you make your entrance.
Only one thing, boss. If you goes back in there, ain't Batman gonna recognize you and blow the whole thing?
Don't worry. I doubt if even the brilliant Batman will be able to tell that Dr. John's most successful example of rehabilitation, Rodney Dogood, and escaped convict Rodney Crawfield are one and the same person.
Sorry. I was just checking my stocking. Actually, they're compression socks. Need to get circulation.
Meanwhile, back at the mission,
My friends, I'm sure you all know Batman and his young friend Robin. Batman, won't you say a few words?
Okay, but just as few as I possibly can. I am delighted to be here and see all of you. And I promise you and Dr. John I'll always be a friend of the Southside Mission. Thank you.
Oh, Rodney, there you are. Come up and meet Batman.
It's an honor to shake your hand, sir.
Glad to meet you, Rodney. Dr. John's told me a lot about you.
Thank you. Can I get you something from the kitchen? Some cake, perhaps some coffee?
Sounds good to me. Something strangely familiar about this guy.
And Dr. John, why not start the carol singing? I think you'll enjoy it, Batman. Somehow it seems to take on a special meaning down here. I'll be right back.
Good idea. See what I mean, Batman? He's such a good man.
Yeah, I guess so. What did Rodney mean by special meaning? I wonder.
How about it, everybody? Feel like singing? Let's go!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Very good. Now, how about
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace.
Yeah, sleep in heavenly peace, Batman.
but with the fine-tuned reflexes of the super athlete that he is, Batman leaps to a chandelier hanging from the ceiling above the tables and swings like a trapeze artist the whole length of the hall, landing on top of a very surprised would-be assassin.
That makes 3 down tonight.
Good going, Batman. Beside himself in rage, an infuriated Roger Caulfield witnesses the failure of his 3rd attempt on the life of Batman.
Fools! Incompetent fools, all of them. I should have known. If you want a job done right, do it yourself.
Throwing all caution to the winds, he grabs a rifle hidden in the kitchen, rushes to the stage, and aims at Batman, who is so busily engaged in tying up a dazed and befuddled fingers that he doesn't see the rifle aimed at his back.
Your luck has run out this time, Batman.
Rodney, no! Just as Rodney pulls the trigger, Dr. John pushes the rifle barrel up, and the shot goes harmlessly into the ceiling.
You old fool! I should have got rid of you a long time ago. See how you like this rifle barrel over your head. Oh! And now I'm getting out of this crummy joint once and for all.
Running out the back door, he races up the fire escape to the roof with Batman close on his heels.
You might as well give up, Rodney. I remember you now, and I'll put you behind bars again, just the way I did 6 years ago.
Oh, no, you won't, Burt Brain.
Now, missed again, Rodney. Ready or not, here I come.
And then begins a wild chase across the rooftops of Gotham City, the frenzied efforts of the criminal to escape, making him an even match for the super smooth running machine we know as Batman.
Maybe you can hitch a ride with Santa Claus, Rodney. He'll be coming any minute now.
This'll shut you up, smart mouth.
You're running out of bullets, Rodney, and looks like you're running out of space, too. Look ahead.
To his horror, Rodney sees that the rooftop of the next building is over 30 feet away.
Give it up, Rodney. I've got you trapped.
Oh, no, you haven't.
And Rodney races forward in a desperate leap for freedom.
Rodney, don't!
It is an hour later at the mission. The police and all the guests have gone.
How do you feel now, Dr. John?
Fortunately, it was a glancing blow, so I'll be all right. But the shock of learning about Rodney.
Yeah, imagine using the mission as a recruiting center and headquarters for his gang of crooks.
That's why he didn't want me to reach here alive. And he would have succeeded if it hadn't been for you, Dr. John.
And if it hadn't been for you and Robin, who knows what would have happened to me in the South Side Mission? How can I ever?
Listen, The bells.
Midnight. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas, Batman, Robin.
And Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Dr. John.
As an unsuspecting world prepares to celebrate that happiest of holidays, Christmas, a powerful nuclear submarine running silent and deep under the massive polar ice cap makes its way north to a spot directly below the only inhabited region in an otherwise desolate world of ice and snow.
Navigational bearings readout, computer.
Navigational bearings readout, latitude 90.0 degrees north, longitude 0 degrees.
Excellent. Engine room, all engines stop.
All engines stop.
Proceed with drilling operation.
Drilling operation proceeding.
A powerful laser drill operating through the conning tower cuts a hole straight up through the ice, through which the captain climbs and steps out into the snow-covered streets of the tiny sleeping village of Hull. Making his way unerringly to the home of the white-bearded patriarch of the community, he bursts in the door, gun in hand.
You there! Get up! Get up!
What time is it?
Never mind. Get up and get dressed. You're coming with me.
But where? It isn't time to ride in the reindeer.
No questions. Move!
Silently, they walk back to the hole in the ice and down into the waiting sun. The captain wastes no time.
All engines, full speed ahead.
All engines, full speed ahead.
And like a gray-black ghost, her massive engines purring softly in the murky depths, the powerful sub sails silently south with its precious cargo. The next morning, the international airways are crackling with reports of an event of cataclysmic import. From the Soviet Union, we hear,
This is Radio Moscow. It is with the deepest regret that we announce that our beloved grandfather Frost is lost. The implications of this catastrophe transcend all ideological and national barriers.
in France, a weeping announcer can barely get the words out.
The unthinkable, the unspeakable, the unbelievable has happened. Papa Noel has disappeared. Il est perdu, lost, gone, vanished.
This is the voice of Vienna. St. Nicholas is missing. It is rumored that he fell through a hole in the ice and possibly drowned.
And from America, an incredulous newsman with a typically American response.
Santa Claus gone? Impossible.
In the UN building in New York, an emergency executive meeting of the Security Council is called into session.
The devastating effect of this event on the children of the world on this day before Christmas could be a tragedy beyond measure. I propose, therefore, that an international investigating commission be sent to the North Pole immediately. Santa Claus must ride again.
But on a supposedly deserted island in the Pacific, an old enemy of Wonder Woman gloats over the success of her plans.
Well done, von Richter.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Once before I had a plan that failed only because of Wonder Woman. But phase one of my new master plan has now been completed, and this time I shall not fail.
You will not fail, Your Majesty.
For I am Brunhilde, mighty Teutonic goddess, returned from Valhalla on a sacred mission. And no one, not even Wonder Woman, shall stand in my way.
Meanwhile, on sunny Paradise Isle, her ancestral home and legendary home of the Amazons, Wonder Woman walks along the beach with her mother, Queen Hippolyte, unaware of the turmoil raging in the outside world at that moment.
Oh, Mother, it's been so wonderful to be home, free of the troubles and worries of the world of ordinary humans, if only for a little while.
To take the cares of that world on your shoulders was your own choice, Diana, and now there is no turning back for you. You must return. It is the law of the gods.
And as Wonder Woman flies back to America in her invisible plane, Far above in the realm of the gods, Aphrodite, goddess of love, listens to a boastful god of war, the mighty Mars.
And there you have it, my dear Aphrodite. All the elements of this little play are in place. All the actors on stage. Once again, my powers and yours face each other in the classic confrontation about to take place down there in the world of humans.
Good against evil, love against hate, light against darkness.
Platitudes. Nothing but empty platitudes. War is the natural human condition, the only reality. Peace is an illusion, refuge of the weak. Only the strong deserve to survive.
And so once again you plan to set the world afire.
And you must admit, my emissary is efficient, her plan ingenious, and her timing a masterpiece.
To bring war at the time of year celebrated as a time of peace on earth and goodwill toward man, this is indeed cruelty unworthy even of the god of war.
Forever moralizing. Such an exercise in futility.
But your plan will fail, for there is on earth a champion of the forces of love who has foiled your plans before and will do it again. Wonder Woman.
We shall see, we shall see. But now, let the play go on.
And back on Earth, in the children's ward of a hospital in Washington, D.C.
Wonder Woman, you kept your promise.
I got here as soon as I could.
The children have been very depressed over Santa's disappearance. Everyone knows about it.
Poor things. I just heard the news myself. I'll do my best to cheer them up.
And as Wonder Woman moves from bed to bed, the sad little faces light up at the sight of their famous visitor.
Are you really Wonder Woman?
Yes, I am. What's your name?
I'm Susie.
Susie. What a nice name. And what would you like Santa to bring you tonight?
A doll and a teddy bear.
Okay, Susie. I'll see that Santa gets the message.
Wonder Woman,
Yes?
will you help find Santa so that he can ride tonight?
Don't worry, Susie. I'll do my best. And what's your name, young man?
I'm Johnny Appleton.
And what would you like for Christmas, Johnny?
A baseball and a baseball glove and a bat.
A ball, a glove, and a bat?
Yeah, 'cause someday I'm gonna walk again and run and play with the other kids and everything.
That's wonderful, Johnny. And I promise you, your name will be at the top of Santa's list.
But what if you can't find Santa?
We'll find him. You'll see.
Her name is Beth. She's been this way all day.
Oh, my. Tears on the day before Christmas? Would you like to tell me what's wrong, Beth?
Oh, it's Wonder Woman.
I'd like to help you, if you'll let me.
Nobody can help.
Maybe Santa can. If it's something you want, I'll tell him, and maybe he'll bring it to you.
Santa Claus isn't coming tonight.
Of course he is. I saw him downstairs.
That's only a make-believe Santa Claus. The real Santa Claus isn't coming. I know he isn't. I'm afraid there's no consoling her.
If only we had some idea where he might be.
Wonder Woman, there's an urgent call for you. You're wanted at the White House immediately.
Thank you for coming, Wonder Woman.
I am honored, Mr. President, but I don't understand.
It's about the Santa Claus kidnapping.
Kidnapping. So that's what it was.
Yes. We received a radio message from the kidnappers. We don't know who they are, where they're holding him, or why. But they demanded that you be present when they contact us again.
The call is coming in, Mr. President. Stand by.
Mr. President, is Wonder Woman there?
Yes, she is here.
Good. Then listen carefully. In return for the release of your precious Mr. Claus, we demand $500 million, delivered personally by Wonder Woman. She must come alone, here to Christmas Island, and no tricks. As the first sight of
And so, von Richter, phase 2 has begun.
Excellent, Your Majesty.
And now, do you know what happens when Wonder Woman arrives?
Well, I thought...
We will take her prisoner, put her in the dungeon with our other prisoner, and then, as we take off in our specially equipped command plane to carry out the third and final phase of our plan,
Yes, Majesty?
Wonder Woman and Santa Claus and Christmas Island will all be blown to Kingdom Come in one great explosion. And do you see the delightful symbolism in this?
Symbolism? Ah, yes. Santa Claus, a place called Christmas.
The decadent trappings of a decadent world. I shall restore the Germany of old, the power of the ancient gods, and the glory of the master race.
Jawohl, the master race!
And with our robot satellites in orbit, ready to bomb the major capitals of the world at my command, I shall demand the surrender of all nations in the United Nations, and we shall fly to Washington, D.C., where I will be crowned Queen of the world.
Heil Brunhilde!
Soon, Wonder Woman in her invisible plane is racing at incredible speed to her rendezvous with Doomsday on a remote island in the mid-Pacific.
The ocean is so large and that island so small, but I must find it for the sake of children everywhere. Ah, that must be it. That atoll down there. Looks uninhabited. No buildings visible. Nothing but coral reefs and...
Wonder Woman? Calling Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman here. Go ahead.
On the inside rim of the coral reef, you will see a blinking light.
Yes, I see it.
It marks a camouflaged landing platform. You will land there. The platform will descend, carrying you to my subterranean command post. Bring the money and do not attempt to communicate with anyone.
As Wonder Woman lands on the platform, it descends far below the surface and stops. A door opens. And she steps out into a brilliantly lit cavern, in the center of which stands...
Brunhilde! I thought that voice was familiar.
Wonder Woman, alias Diana Prince. I've been looking forward to this moment for a long time.
There's no time for small talk. I've brought the money. Here it is. Now, turn your prisoner over to me, as per our agreement.
Certainly. Come with me. Here we are. Von Richter, open the cell door.
Yes, Majesty.
As Wonder Woman steps inside to lead the prisoner out, the door slams shut behind her.
There you are. Company for the prisoner of Christmas Island.
I should have expected a trick of some kind.
In warfare, there are no tricks, only tactics and strategy. And this tactic has succeeded. You, as a prisoner, I really wanted, not that fat little man.
Then why not release him? Let him ride tonight, for the sake of little children everywhere.
He will ride no more. From now on, there will be a new order, a new discipline, a new race. There will be no room for the sentimental claptrap and nonsense that he represents. And now we leave you.
What are you going to do with us?
Since even you cannot break through the indestructible metal this cell door is made of, I'll tell you. My command plane is in a hangar in the next room. Von Richter and I will board that plane. When we reach the surface and take off, the push of one button will destroy you and the fat one and this ridiculous little island.
How nice.
The push of a second button will release nuclear bombs from my satellites, which will destroy New York, London, and Moscow. The push of a third button...
Well, what about the third button?
If the United Nations do not surrender unconditionally and crown me Queen of the world, I shall destroy every major city on Earth. And now, Wonder Woman, goodbye forever.
But Brunhilde had forgotten the powers of Wonder Woman's magic tiara. Pounding the rock wall of the dungeon with the tiara, Wonder Woman cuts through it like butter, and the cell door to which it was attached falls off at a touch.
There, we are free. Come, good friend, we must hurry.
Running to the platform that had brought her down to the cavern, they board her invisible plane, and the platform rises to the surface just in time for them to see Brunhilde's plane take off.
We must get off this island before she blows it up. Hurry, robot plane. Made it just in time. Gotta bring down that command plane now. Can't let her destroy the world's greatest cities.
Maneuvering her speedy craft close to Brunhilde's plane, Wonder Woman hurls her magic lasso around the tail of the much larger plane, just as Brunhilde is gloating over the destruction of Christmas Island and the supposed demise of her most dangerous foe, and prepares to send the electronic command to the satellites to drop their bombs.
Phase 2 has been completed, von Richter. Wonder Woman is no more. Now we proceed to phase... What's wrong? We're heading straight down. Bring up the nose. Bring it up.
I can't, Majesty. Something's jamming the tail controls, forcing us down. We're going to crash!
And as Wonder Woman watches the plane sink beneath the waves, suddenly she sees an extraordinary sight.
A great white horse, rising out of the water, carrying a Valkyrie. Like the legend of old, it's Brunhilde.
Yes, it was the warrior maiden Brunhilde on her final journey to Valhalla, home of the fallen god heroes, never to return to Earth again. After notifying Washington of the necessity of disarming Brunhilde's orbiting satellites, Wonder Woman flies her companion back to his headquarters in the far north.
We made it, and in time. Thank you, Wonder Woman, not just for what you have done for me, but for the children of the world.
And at the stroke of midnight, once again we hear a familiar voice and a welcome sound as Santa rides again.
On Vixen, on Prancer, on Rudolph, on Dancer, and Merry Christmas, Wonder Woman, and everyone, everywhere.
Well, you missed a few reindeer there, Santa Claus. Would you only got paid for saying 4 names? Well, I'm glad you spent this time with me here on this Christmas Eve as I spun these holiday records for Dr. Durant. I don't know what he's off doing, basting a turkey or some such thing. But, Jody, what is that you said? You don't believe in Vincent Price? Well then, what are you doing sitting on my lap? Merry Christmas.